This is Valley News Live at noon.
Well, it's no raging blizzard, but snowfall overnight is making for some slick and potentially troublesome roads around the valley. Now, plows and sanders spent the night doing their thing, but it's not likely every street is taken care of, so please be careful. The morning made for a slick drive, and authorities say this car slid off I-94 and into the Buffalo River near Moorhead this morning. Now, no one was hurt, and crews were able to get the driver and the car out of that water. The Minnesota State Patrol responded to more than 100 crashes, including one fatality over the weekend. Troopers say between 7:30 p.m. Friday and 7:30 a.m. Saturday, there were 117 crashes statewide. A man died in a rollover crash in Ramsey County. 18 other people were hurt, but none seriously. The State Patrol also responded to more than 30 spinouts and 4 jackknifed semis. And with weather on the minds of so many, let's get right over to meteorologist Jim Gash with what we're seeing right now. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Bobby. We're right now taking a look at our Dakota Magic Skycam, and as you can see, those roads down there are also pretty snowy, which is a common theme across the area. Right now, we're seeing temperatures for the most part in the 20s, though we are seeing Langdon there hanging on to our only teen at 19 degrees, and we are seeing some scattered or spotty flurries for much of the area. That snow that we saw overnight has moved off to the east into the arrowhead of Minnesota, but behind it we're watching some more flurries make their way into the Devil's Lake Basin. Now here in Fargo, we're going to continue seeing the snow at least for a couple more hours while we continue seeing clouds after that snow finally stops. We're going to see those clouds for the remainder of the day, but those clouds are actually going to keep us a little warmer during the overnight hours. So I'll have more information about how cold we'll get this week coming up in just a few minutes, Bobby.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of people, including me, are saying snow, snow, go away, come again another day. Like these last couple of days have just, a lot of snow has come down. So,
oh, yeah.
Jim, thank you so much. We'll talk to you again in a few more minutes. Well, new at noon, 3 Grafton brothers have pleaded guilty to the brutal April beating of a 20-year-old outside of a bar. Chris Yobel, Jason, and Jacob Garza have all pleaded guilty to accomplice to aggravated assault. They were each sentenced to 90 days in the Walsh County Jail with a following 2 years of supervised probation. According to court documents, between the three, they will be paying the victim almost $14,000 in restitution. Their victim, Curtis Graver, was outside of the bar waiting for a friend to run inside and pick them up a pizza. Graver told Valley News Live just days after the assault, his attackers pulled him out of his car and, quote, beat him to a pulp. Graver says he was not robbed. It was just a senseless act of violence. He suffered broken bones in his nose, a dislocated jaw, a fractured chin, and more. Also new at noon, one man is under arrest after police say he shot off a round in his apartment building. Officers were called to a building in the 4100 block of 18th Avenue South around 2:15 yesterday morning for reports of shots fired. Police later learned that 35-year-old Christopher Stollard was cleaning his gun and shot a round into the ceiling. Stollard was arrested for reckless endangerment and negligent discharge of a firearm. And a woman is in jail accused of firing a gun into a Grand Forks home. Police got a call yesterday morning from a witness reporting that the woman was shooting a gun in front of a house on Columbia Court, which is near the UND campus. Now, police found the suspect with the gun and arrested her. They say several shots were fired, causing damage to the house, but there's no word on any injuries. And police in Charlottesville, Virginia have made an arrest in last night's deadly shooting on the University of Virginia campus. They say the suspect is a former football player who attacked a bus of students who were returning from an off-campus trip. Deborah Alfron has the latest on the investigation.
The manhunt in Charlottesville, Virginia is over. Police say they have captured shooting suspect Christopher Darnell Jones Jr.
We just received information the suspect is in custody.
He's accused of killing 3 people and wounding 2 others last night at the University of Virginia.
Upon arrival at the scene, University police encountered several victims of gunshot wounds. The shootings occurred on a bus full of students returning from a field trip.
University officials say Jones is a student who played on the football team in 2018, his freshman year.
3 of the victims did not survive. They were Devin Chandler, a second year from Virginia Beach, Virginia, Lavelle Davis, a third-year student from Ridgeville, South Carolina, and Deshaun Perry, a fourth-year student from Miami, Florida. All three were members of the football team.
In an email to the campus community, the school's president said, quote, "I am holding the victims, their families, and all members of the University of Virginia community in my heart today." Other schools in the area are also closed for the day. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Charlottesville, Virginia.
Deborah, thank you. And a Cass County man is dead, and the driver of the car he was in is facing drunk driving charges after crashing into a tree in the Northern Valley. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says Christopher Thompson of Grafton left Highway 9 in Walsh County Friday night and hit a tree near Park River. Jason Shasky of Wheatland died. 4 other passengers were in the car, but no one else had serious injuries. And a Minnesota hunter's ordeal is a reminder to all of us about early season thin ice. He was hunting on Crane Lake in St. Louis County in northeastern Minnesota when he got stuck in waist-deep water. Sheriff's deputies say that the man tried to walk across a partially frozen flooded swamp. He was rescued and is being treated for hypothermia. The Department of Natural Resources reminds you to stay off ice that is less than 4 inches thick. And Minnesota state investigators are hoping to solve a 35-year-old heartbreak for one Wadena family. Carla Anderson has been missing for 35 years after celebrating being named Employee of the Month at her job. She hasn't been seen or heard from since, and the State Bureau of Criminal Apprehension is asking anyone who has information on what happened to Carla to come forward. Police suspect foul play but have not recovered her body. If you can help solve this case, contact the Wadena Police Department of the Minnesota BCA. And former Fargo Police Chief Chris Magnus has resigned as head of U.S. Border Protection. He submitted his resignation to President Joe Biden on Saturday after being asked to leave. He was on the job for only a year, but has been criticized internally as being out of touch with the agency and publicly for the handling of the U.S.-Mexico border. Now, reports indicate agents have encountered a record number of migrants entering the U.S. lately. Magnus says it was a privilege and honor to be part of the administration. Well, coming up at noon, parents in ER waiting rooms as fears mount over America's triple-demic just weeks from Thanksgiving. But next, Jim Gash is in with your weather to plan your day.